For all the men out there who are over 50, I've got a question for you. What if I suggested that there's a particular spot on your body that, when you treat it the right way, could send a fresh surge of blood to your most private areas, bring back sensitivity, and help you wake up feeling the way you did maybe 20 years ago? Now, this spot isn't on the shaft itself. It's also not a muscle you can train at the local gym. And frankly, most men haven't ever given it a second thought. And yet, in more than a decade of professional observation, I have seen this one straightforward routine, done with just a common natural oil, restore confidence and performance in ways that genuinely catch my patients by surprise. Today, I'm going to lay out exactly where this spot is, explain why it holds so much power, and show you how you can begin using this technique tonight to naturally support your erections, all without needing pills or any complicated devices. By the time we're done, you will have a clear picture of why castor oil can be such an incredible ally for your blood flow, your nerve sensitivity, and even your hormonal balance. You will also get the exact details on where to apply it, how frequently, and what kind of changes you might realistically expect to see over the next few weeks. So I encourage you to stay with me, because the specifics here really do make a difference. Before I point out the exact location and the method for using the castor oil, we really need to get on the same page about what's happening inside the male body after someone hits the age of 50. You have to understand, an erection is not just a passing moment of arousal or some simple physical reflex. It is truly one of the most complex events your body is capable of producing. It demands perfect, split-second coordination between your brain, your hormonal system, your entire network of sensitive nerves, and a very precise response from all your blood vessels. If even just one of all those elements starts to slow down or becomes a little less efficient, the whole process can begin to feel weaker or slower or just not as reliable as it used to be. As time goes on, the blood vessels that are responsible for supplying your erectile tissue can begin to lose some of their natural, youthful flexibility. They get a bit stiffer, and they become less able to open up wide and allow that inrush of blood you need to achieve firmness. And when that blood does manage to arrive, it can be tougher to keep it trapped inside the erectile chambers. At the exact same time, your testosterone levels, the hormones that don't just fuel your desire, but also maintain the health of those tissues, may start to decline, little by little. This very gradual shift can have an impact on your energy, your mood, and the actual strength of your erections. Another change that frequently goes completely unnoticed is what happens to the tiny nerve endings that are supposed to carry signals of pleasure from the penis up to the brain. Over the decades, these nerve endings can lose a bit of their sensitivity. This means that the same touch or stimulation that used to spark a strong response might now feel somewhat muted. And we absolutely cannot forget about the pelvic floor muscles. These are those deep, very often overlooked muscles that are supposed to act like a locking mechanism, keeping the blood in the penis once it's there. As we age, these muscles can weaken, and when they do, erections are much more likely to fade away before you want them to. Now, this is the exact point where a lot of men start to lose hope. They just assume that this slow decline is an unavoidable part of getting older, and that absolutely nothing can be done to turn things around. I can tell you from many years of working with patients that this is simply not the case. The body, even past 50, still has an amazing capacity for recovery. But you have to give it the right kind of stimulation, the right care, and the right environment. When you target the correct structures, the muscles, the blood vessels, and the nerves, you can absolutely restore vitality in ways that feel almost like you're turning back the clock. And this right here is exactly where castor oil becomes such a surprising and powerful tool. It's not some magic potion, but when you apply it to the right place in the right way, it can support your circulation, wake up dormant nerve endings, and help recondition the pelvic area for stronger, more dependable erections. In just a bit, I'll show you exactly how it's done. Castor oil is not just any regular oil you'd grab from your kitchen or find in your bathroom cabinet. It possesses a very unique composition. The single most important part of it is a natural compound known as ricinoleic acid. This specific compound is what gives castor oil its well-known healing properties. It functions as a natural anti-inflammatory, working to calm irritation deep down inside the tissues and to soothe areas that might be tight, tense, or under a lot of strain. It also provides support for blood circulation by helping blood vessels relax and open up, which allows more oxygen-rich blood to flow to where it is needed most. And perhaps just as importantly, it encourages the lymphatic system, which is basically your body's internal cleaning crew, to move more efficiently. This helps in clearing away built-up toxins and waste products that can otherwise slow down healing and reduce the vitality of your tissues. These exact qualities are the reason why, for hundreds of years, castor oil packs have been a staple in traditional medicine across many different cultures. People would apply them to the abdomen to help stimulate sluggish organs, such as the liver. They would put them on sore joints to help ease pain, or they'd use them on the skin to speed up recovery from an injury. The oil's deep, penetrating nature made it a go-to remedy for problems that needed more than just a surface-level treatment. When we focus this on male sexual health, the real magic of castor oil is found in that same ability to sink deeply into the tissues. It doesn't just sit on the top layer of the skin. It actually moves through the layers, reaching the areas that are packed with blood vessels and nerve endings. When you apply it over the key zones that have an influence on erectile function, castor oil can help your muscles release long-held tension, improve the openness of your blood vessels, and bring fresh, nourishing blood to the erectile tissues. It is also incredibly effective at feeding those delicate nerve endings that may have become less responsive over the years. You can think of it like gently reawakening a pathway that has been quiet for a little too long. This renewed nerve activity can translate into greater sensitivity, more natural arousal, and a much stronger connection between your brain and your body during intimacy. A lot of men who give this technique a try describe the effect in very similar terms. They often call it a gentle awakening, or mention it feels like a quiet switch is being turned back on. They might notice a subtle warmth, a pleasant feeling of fullness, or even a tingling in areas that haven't felt that way in years. This isn't about forcing the body to do something. It's about creating the right environment for your body to remember how to perform at its best. And when you combine this deep-acting oil with the specific application spot I'm about to reveal, the results can be surprisingly powerful. Not in a sudden, artificial way, but in a steady, natural return of function that feels like your own body working exactly as it should. So, where exactly should this be applied? The secret spot is not actually on the shaft itself, which is what many people might assume. It is the perineum. That is the soft, slightly muscular patch of skin located between the scrotum and the anus. Now, while it might not seem like an obvious choice, this small area is, in fact, a major crossroads for some of the most important structures that control your erections. Beneath this layer of skin is where the bulbospongiosus muscle is located, which acts almost like a natural clamp, helping to trap blood inside the penis and maintain your firmness. Running right through this region are also branches of the pudendal nerve, which is responsible for carrying the crucial signals of arousal and sensation to and from your brain. Alongside these nerves are the arteries that supply fresh, oxygen-rich blood directly to your erectile tissue. In other words, this isn't just a random patch of skin. It is, essentially, a control hub for your sexual performance. When you apply castor oil here, you are doing far more than simply moisturizing the surface. You are delivering all of its deep penetrating properties right into the core of your pelvic floor. The oil encourages those muscles to soften up and release tension, which in turn allows the blood vessels to expand and deliver a healthier flow. It also nourishes and stimulates the nerve pathways that may have been sluggish or underactive for years. This combination of muscle relaxation, improved blood supply, and nerve reactivation creates the perfect environment for stronger, more consistent erections. In my experience, this can be especially transformative for men who have noticed that gradual decline. Perhaps their morning erections just aren't as firm as they used to be, or they find themselves losing hardness too soon during intimacy. By targeting this specific spot, you are addressing several of the underlying factors all at once, rather than just masking the surface symptoms. Here is how to do it correctly, so you get the maximum benefit. Start by making sure the area is clean and completely dry. This ensures that the oil can absorb deeply without any barrier on the skin. Take about a teaspoon of pure, cold-pressed castor oil, and I really cannot stress enough the importance of using a high-quality, unrefined oil, as this is what keeps all of its natural compounds intact. Warm the oil up gently, either by rubbing it slowly between your fingers and palms, or by placing the teaspoon in a small bowl of warm water for a few minutes. You are not looking for high heat, just enough to make it pleasantly warm when it touches your skin. Once the oil is ready, settle into a comfortable position where you can easily reach the perineum. Using slow, firm, yet gentle movements, begin massaging the oil into that area. Your aim is to press deeply enough to feel the underlying muscle, but without creating any discomfort. Imagine you are just coaxing the tissue to soften, open up, and receive the nourishment. Allow your fingers to move in small, steady circles or gentle strokes, covering the entire space between the scrotum and the anus. Spend at least 2 to 3 minutes here, and longer if you can. This is not about speed. It is about giving your body the time it needs to respond. The more mindful and unhurried your touch is, the more the muscles and blood vessels in this area will relax. Many men find that focusing on their breathing while doing this, a slow inhale, a slow exhale, helps release even more tension and encourages the body to welcome the sensation. For an added boost, Once the massage is complete, you can place a warm compress or a folded towel that has been dipped in warm water over the area for about 15 minutes. The combination of the heat and the oil creates a deeper level of penetration into the tissues and enhances the circulation even further. You might feel a gentle warmth spreading across your pelvic region. This is a great sign that blood flow is increasing. I generally recommend making this a calming, end-of-day ritual. Doing it in the evening, when your body is already beginning to unwind, allows the tissues to stay relaxed and continue absorbing the oil overnight without any interruption. With regular practice, this simple routine can become a quiet, restorative habit that supports not only your intimate health, but also your overall sense of well-being. Some men tell me they begin noticing subtle changes within just a few days. Perhaps a gentle warmth, a light tingling sensation, or just a feeling of more aliveness in the pelvic area. For other men, the improvements build up more slowly, often taking 2 to 4 weeks of regular application before they notice clear signs, like stronger morning firmness or the ability to maintain an erection more reliably during intimacy. Every single body responds at its own pace, and that is perfectly normal. What is important to remember is that this is not a quick, artificial boost like you'd get from a pill. Instead, it is a process of gently retraining your body, reconditioning your tissues, and restoring the natural mechanisms that support healthy function. Along the way, you may notice some surprising extra benefits. Many men report feeling a greater sense of ease in their pelvic floor, as if tension they didn't even realize they were holding has been released. Others mention less stiffness or tightness in their lower back, since the muscles and nerves in this region are all closely interconnected. In some cases, men find that their urinary control improves. They can hold their bladder more easily and experience fewer nighttime bathroom trips. This is no coincidence. The exact same nerves and muscle groups that help you achieve and maintain an erection also play a direct role in your bladder health. Of course, castor oil alone will give you the best results when it is supported by healthy daily habits that nourish your circulation and balance your hormones. Make it a priority to stay well hydrated throughout the day, so your blood flows freely and your tissues stay plump and responsive. Include plenty of leafy greens and beets in your meals to naturally boost nitric oxide, which is a compound that helps blood vessels open wider and deliver more oxygen to every part of your body, including your most intimate areas. Choose foods that are rich in healthy fats, like salmon, walnuts, and extra virgin olive oil. These provide the building blocks for healthy testosterone levels and supple blood vessel walls. In addition to your diet, consider adding gentle pelvic floor exercises into your weekly routine. Those Kegel exercises, when you do them correctly, can strengthen the very muscles that help trap blood inside the penis, making your erections not just firmer, but also longer lasting. Even just a few minutes a day can create a noticeable improvement over time. And finally, never underestimate the role of your mind in your sexual health. Stress, worry, and constant tension flood your body with hormones that tighten blood vessels and dampen desire. Taking time each day for relaxation is not a luxury. It is an absolute necessity. Whether you find your calm through deep breathing, a slow evening walk, stretching before bed, or simply sitting quietly in your favorite chair. These moments of rest help your body shift into a state where intimacy feels natural and enjoyable again. When you combine this castor oil technique with these supportive habits, you create the perfect environment for lasting, meaningful change. Castor oil is generally very safe for external use, but it is important to choose a pure, cold-pressed variety to make sure you are getting all of its natural benefits without any added chemicals or processing that could irritate the skin. Avoid using it on broken, inflamed, or irritated skin, as this can cause discomfort and slow down healing. If you ever experience significant pelvic pain, sudden or unexplained changes in erectile function, or other unusual symptoms, please see your doctor promptly to rule out any underlying conditions that may require treatment. If you are taking medications for blood pressure, heart disease, or other circulation-related concerns, it is always wise to let your physician know before adding any new regimen, even a natural one like this. Your doctor can guide you in making sure that this practice works safely alongside your current care plan. Remember, the goal here is not just improvement, but improvement in a way that supports your overall health for years to come. So to all the men watching, I want you to remember this. Your body is far more adaptable than you might believe. Even after 50, it is capable of responding, healing, and regaining strength in ways that can truly surprise you. With the right care, the right stimulation, and the right habits, you can reignite that spark you thought was fading for good and enjoy intimacy that feels confident, natural, and fulfilling. Try this simple castor oil technique consistently and give your body the nourishment it needs, both from the outside and the inside. Support it with healthy food, good hydration, and daily moments of relaxation. And you might just find yourself experiencing changes that go beyond what you hoped for. Do not rush the process. Trust it. And if you have found this information helpful or encouraging, please do not keep it to yourself. Share it with someone you care about who could benefit from it. You never know how much of a difference a simple piece of knowledge can make in someone else's life. Let's really dig into that idea of relaxation and stress for a minute, because it is probably the most overlooked part of this entire puzzle. You can have the best diet in the world and the most consistent massage routine, but if your mind is in a constant state of fight or flight, your body simply cannot follow through. Think about it. When you're stressed, your body is flooded with chemicals like cortisol and adrenaline. These are survival hormones. They tell your blood vessels to tighten up, not relax. They route blood to your major muscles, your arms and legs, so you can either run away from a threat or fight it. That is the exact opposite of the rest and digest state, the parasympathetic state, that is required for arousal and intimacy. Your body cannot be in both states at once. It's a chemical traffic jam. This is precisely why that simple, end-of-day ritual we talked about is so much more than just applying oil. It's a powerful signal to your entire nervous system. It's a moment you carve out to consciously shift gears. When you're focusing on your breathing, feeling the warmth of the oil, and being mindful of the massage, you are telling your body, the emergency is over. It is safe to relax. It is safe to heal. This mental shift is just as crucial as the physical application. Now, while we're on the topic of supporting the body from the inside, let's get even more specific than just healthy fats. let's talk about a few micronutrients that are absolute superstars for male hormonal health and circulation. First up is zinc. You can think of zinc as the spark plug for your body's testosterone production. It's involved in hundreds of chemical reactions, but its role in male health is primary. You find it in things like oysters, pumpkin seeds, and lean red meat. Many men just don't get enough of it, and a simple deficiency can pull down those hormone levels. Next, let's talk about magnesium. This is often called the relaxation mineral. It helps muscles all over your body let go of tension, and that includes the smooth muscle cells that line your blood vessel walls. When those cells are relaxed, your blood vessels are wider, and blood flows more freely. It also helps you sleep deeper, which is when your body does its most important repair work. You get magnesium from almonds, spinach, and dark chocolate. Finally, let's talk about nitric oxide precursors. You've heard about beets, but the compounds responsible are amino acids like L-arginine and, even more effectively, L-citrulline. Your body converts L-citrulline, found in high amounts in watermelon, into L-arginine, which then gets turned into nitric oxide. This is the master signal that tells your blood vessels to open up. That's why these compounds are so popular for circulation. This brings us to a final important concept, the idea of use it or lose it, as it applies to tissue health. The erectile tissues are not just passive structures. They need to be maintained. The reason your body produces erections during sleep, those nocturnal erections, is not random. It's the body's built-in maintenance program. It's a way to flood those tissues with fresh, oxygen-rich blood, keeping them flexible, healthy, and responsive. When function starts to decline for any reason, be it stress, poor circulation, or low hormones, that maintenance program runs less often. The tissues get less oxygen, and they can become less flexible over time. This is where the entire approach comes full circle. The castor oil massage is a way to manually support this process. You are encouraging blood flow, nourishing the nerves, and reminding those tissues what they're supposed to do, all while your lifestyle changes, your diet, your stress management, your hydration are fixing the underlying problems. You are creating a holistic environment for your body to heal itself. The oil is a powerful catalyst, but your daily choices are the fuel that makes the change last.